There's a huge buzz at the RIBA when this conference is on. People are running around the building, enjoying the seminars, networking, talking about what they've seen, and hopefully then going away with a lot of positive information.
I think it's great that once a year the RIBA put on a 2-day conference with a whole bundle of things for people to listen to.
Small practices make up really the creative end of the business, and this is where the nucleus is for all the wonderful, successful practices of the future. So it's really at the nub of where everything starts in architecture. At the end of the conference every year we have, to be honest, a theatrical event, but it's also an educational experience, and it's usually the most exciting part of the day.
They were told to work with another partner to come up with an idea for an empty shop.
We're going to win because our idea is so strong. The essence of our idea is that the high street is dead. Nobody wants that anymore. Nobody wants that global chain brand. Everyone's searching for the unique, the individual, the bespoke boutique. So what we're trying to do is propose a brand that has longevity but that constantly changes, so its interiors are like a pop-up.
Well, pop-up could be anything really. It could be a bunch of wine crates, or imagine a shop that is just filled with rubber strings, or a couple of B&Q sheds. You know, it needs to be versatile, and it's very important that it can change, and that imagine you come back next week and it looks completely different. So that is the most important thing for us.
This project is going to win because it's a very real proposal. It's not a theoretical idea. We've teamed up with Camden Town Unlimited, who are actually going to test the idea, and they're out there right now turning retail units into gallery spaces.
We're planning to temporarily change the use classes of derelict shops and other buildings on high streets to enable them to be used for a far broader range of uses, and to instigate that by putting in what we're calling a curator who will perhaps live in the unit and enable all these different activities to take place.
It's the opportunity for the audience to see something they don't normally see, which is actually see somebody pitching to a real-life client, and a really difficult one, an experienced one.
It's really all about the element of surprise, and this is an example in London. This is the Dover Street Market shop, and this is really something that we feel is going in the right direction.
Is it the case that you need a relatively sophisticated audience, such as you might get in the vicinity of Soho or Manhattan? How would a thing like this work in a depressed high street in some god-awful place in, I can't think of the worst county in the country, but one of those? Do you think it would work in Dudley?
If it wasn't Dudley, I think that would be even more fantastical, because it would be completely unexpected.
Our strategy involved a local living curator who would live in a part of the space, rather like in the micro-flat shop window, to supervise and curate this new classification of space, which we're calling the U-class.
Do you think it'd be better to be presenting this sort of concept, promoting this sort of concept, where you're able to get a clutch of shops, maybe a half a dozen of them, to justify claiming the 24/7 life of somebody who would inevitably have to be very charismatic to make the thing work?
That's a very good idea.
The first one began with the premise that the high street is dead, but then proposed a project in Soho. I mean, have you been to Carnaby Street on a Saturday?
Ooh, it's getting nasty. We've got Simon Cowell here, finally.
They both had put a lot of work into it, which was fantastic, and really sort of gave a very good presentation. And I think it's important to know that when you pitch as an architect, it's you, the architect, that's being chosen, and not necessarily your scheme. The client has to feel comfortable that they can work with you.
It's great to talk about things you really believe in, and be able to do it to an audience of people you actually really want to be impressing. So to win is absolutely fantastic news. We really do believe in the concept, so I hope that we can keep moving it on throughout the country.